Hello, and welcome to Lily's Show and Tell series. If you're not familiar with Lily, it stands for Lifelong Information Literacy, and we are a group of librarians and information professionals who promote lifelong information literacy. Before we begin, I just have a couple of quick housekeeping items. First, you probably have noticed the session is being recorded. I will try to send out a link to the recording by the end of the week. If I don't do it quickly, I will forget, so I'd like to be fast. Also, feel free to put your questions in the chat while Jessica is talking. I will keep an eye on it. That way we can try and make sure we don't skip over anyone. And then finally, if you want to learn more about Lily, join a Lily, or if you have an idea for your own presentation, I put my email in my Zoom handle. I'll also put in a chat in a minute. Feel free to email me anytime. And now to our speaker. Jessica Kirk is my friend, but she's also the statewide sharing and engagement coordinator for the Arkansas State Library. Thank you for joining us. If you're talking, Jessica, we can't hear you.
Did you hear anything I said? Hi.
No, now we can hear you.
Okay, I thought I unmuted myself. And are you seeing my first slide screen on there?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to be using Mentimeter today just for a couple of questions early on. So if you want to go ahead and pull that up for our session, you can using that QR code on the screen or on your phone by going to menti.com and hitting that code. If you don't get to do it before I go to the next slide, it's going to be at the top of all of those polls anyway. Give you a couple seconds. All right. So April introduced me, but you don't really need to know a whole lot about me except for graphic design is my passion. Now that's supposed to be a joke, but I do want to say that I'm not an expert. Not in Canva and not in graphic design. And that's where Canva can really shine anyway. It can make things look really good without much effort. It also saves a lot of time even if you are a design expert. So I'm not going to cover any design principles in this session. It has a lot of built-in design help and templates to help you start in a good place. So I started using Canva when I worked at a public library about 6 or 7 years ago. It was fun, but I only had the free account, and the library system that I was working at then had a lot of brand limitations because it was a larger system. It required using a different software, and they didn't necessarily endorse using Canva for their social media stuff. Now my current library started using a Canva Teams product about 10 months ago, and I've been finding a lot of ways to use it for everything, but I mostly use it to create consistent social media posts. So now that you know my Canva background, I want to learn a little bit more about you guys to sort of see what we're working with. And now if you just bear with me, we're going to transition over here. Let me pull that big instruction screen up. There it is again. There's the code, a little bit larger for those who need it. So the first question I had was, what best describes your Canva account? Wanted to see how many people were starting with a free account, or if their employer had a pro or enterprise account, also known as a Teams account. Ten more seconds, we'll close that. Okay, so mostly people are working from a free account. When I talk about Canva, I try to point out when something that I'm using or demoing is not available at the free account. I've never done this, but I've heard that you can make a design and then when you go to download it or publish it, if you're in free, you have the choice to actually pay for the premium items you've used just in that design. Never done that, but that's what I've heard. Now I want to know how long you've been using Canva for. So I looked up how long it's actually been around, and it's been around for about 10 years. Okay, 10 seconds on that. That's good to know. Last time I gave this presentation, most of the people that were in the room had been using it probably just as long as I had. So I felt like, yeah, I had no idea it was that old either. It feels like it got popular with libraries and then not popular. Okay, so okay. Like I said, last time I did this, most people had been using it for quite a while. So I was like, oh, well, you're not going to learn anything new from me. And then go ahead and I'll give you a minute to type in anything you want to see explored in this session. So I have things that I'll cover, but if they seem pretty off what you're looking for, I'll try to make some flexible adjustments as we go. Okay, took a couple of notes on things that I know I'm not covering, but know a little bit about. I see that in the chat too. Canva, not a good option. All right. So my personal approach over the past 6 or 7 years to learning about Canva has really just been to explore, explore, explore. I click around aimlessly most of the time to discover new things. While I'm creating something, I do look at all of the settings and all of the elements that I'm using there to see what they can do. Even if I don't plan on using it, I use that opportunity to learn and get ideas for future use just to understand the capacity of the platform. If I think the platform should be able to do something, like I've done it in a different software, I usually Google it, and I often, almost always learn something new that Canva can or cannot do. I use Canva for anything, just to keep up my skills with it and to get ease of access with it so that I can do things quickly when I need to. I know we had a block party over the summer. I used Canva to create an invitation for 3 people. So I highly recommend that to get in there, even if you're not actually going to print it and use it, get in there, create things, create videos, create happy birthday cards, all of it, because that'll help you get familiar for when you do need to use it for work. Canva likes to award you a certificate when you hit some milestones. Here's mine. So while I was making this presentation, it popped up as a new design. They pushed it to me. So in 10 months, I created 200 designs just with this new account with the state library that I'm with. And I would say that probably 75% of those were not necessary. Sort of like this presentation. I am presenting from a Canva deck. It is not necessary to present from Canva. It has some fun stuff. I could have certainly created a slide deck in PowerPoint, but that wouldn't have been fun for a Canva presentation. And then would you have been able to see, let's see if I can get it to bubbles. No, that's blur. Bubble 0. So it has some fun things. Rachel, I think you were saying that you were going to present internationally and you were looking for some presentation ideas. I just always want to give a word of caution to present from a cloud-based presentation software, especially if you're doing it on location. You are really relying on the Wi-Fi of that area. And any kind of lagging issues. Canva likes to be image-based and it likes to have these details, and it can create some lagging. And then my third general tip is just to trust the experts. So when I Google something, the first hit is usually pointing back to Canva support. It's not usually some user-centered forum. So let me drop some links in the chat really quick since I have it open that are some really good starting points on learning about Canva. They have free tutorials. That first one is, it gives you an overview of some of the features. And it really is just a good spot if you don't have a lot of time to invest in like clicking around. It'll give you an idea of what you can. And then on Trust the Experts, I would also advise not to deviate too much from templates. I'm really bad about this. I grew up in the age of PowerPoint presentation transition slides and going crazy with those, and I love it. So I do that sometimes with Canva, and less is often more. If your message or content doesn't fit in a Canva template, you need to reduce the content, which is a good recommendation on its own for a lot of design products, or you need to find a new template or layout. You can certainly make adjustments and make it fit. I've done that, but it just often doesn't look as good. And that, like I said in the beginning, that's one of the good points about Canva. It's starting you out with good design principles. So what we're going to do now is explore some common items. We're going to look at some social media content. We're going to look at posters, which can be used as flyers. And then I'm going to go back to Mentimeter really quick and let you decide what our third option is. So our third option, you have a choice between a presentation, a video, or an infographic. Those are the ones that I am prepared to cover. Seconds. Jennifer, I just started using it for online newsletters, not printable. Okay, so it looks like infographic 1. All right, so here we are at Canva. Let me get my little outline going so I cover what I wanted to. So the first one was social media. Go up to the top. So here's how I'm going to click to get there. Just right here under social media, I'm going to click on it. And I'm actually going to show you something that I just learned about. Pull up. So this right here allows you to quick create collection. So when you click on things on Canva, anytime you click on one of their products or templates, sometimes it'll give you like some helpful information here. And so if you're brand new to it, I recommend, you giving that a look before you start. But let's look at quick create collection. So you can take a look at this and select the things that your organization uses. We do not use Instagram, but we do use Facebook. We do have LinkedIn, although we don't really post to there. Why not add an email header while we're there? And maybe one day we'll actually use Twitter. So I'm going to hit continue. And so it's going to create a design for each of those that sort of is matched to the brand. So you see here it says text. You're going to change your text to your basic message that you want to add. Spell it right. You see how it's changing them all at once? When I said it can be quick, it really can be quick. So you have image and logo. I'm putting our logo there. You see here that it popped the little logo on everything. And now it's going to let you choose your actual templates. You see these categories up here? Depends on the vibe, right? The brand of your organization. I love organic. Fun is always good too, but I'm going to go with organic. Love any kind of plant incorporation. Now here you're going to see a feature of teams. I know somebody said that they wanted to see how to set these. It gives some pretty good walkthroughs on how to set these. If you do not have a Teams account, you're not going to see this right here. You see this ASL brand kit? These are two different color palettes that we like to stick to. Ours is not locked. You can actually lock them in Teams and not allow anybody to use anything else. So this is the original palette. And I was going to show this later, but I'm going to show it now. It's one of my favorite things. Doesn't let you shuffle them here. Yeah, it does. So you can go look at these palettes and pick a different color theme so that you don't have to change a bunch of stuff. Retro chill. You see how shuffle is pulling up? Say you like those colors, but you definitely don't want your Facebook post to be that bright pink. You can shuffle it until you see something that you like. Ooh, jewel tones. Okay, so then we're going to hit finish. So what it did is it created a folder and put all of these in it. So that now you can go and adjust them as necessary. So what did we have here? This was a LinkedIn post, Twitter post. Now you know that all of that is going to be around the same concept that you developed. If you were trying to just send out a quick message, you could use that. All right, so do we have any questions about social media designs before I move on to a poster? All right. So now I want to show you what it's like to make a poster. So here's how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go up to search. I'm going to type in poster. Now you see here it says suggested templates. You can hit see all, or you can just hit enter. It's going to take you to the same place. It's going to take you to a template page. Now what I like about this is sort of the same thing as they're offering you a bunch of different choices over here. I want mine to be in portrait, so I'm going to limit it to a template like that. Love a minimalist look. I'm going to click that. What do I have now? Still only 36,000 to choose from. Here are some themes. Say you're having an event, that might be helpful. And then you can change your style color. So I don't really ever use this color down here, but you could hit green. You only want green ones. All right. So let me pick one. Click that one. You see it opens it up in a new tab every time I click something, and it's going to save it to your projects. All right, so what I wanted to show you here under templates is you can change the template here. Say once you got it in here and you were changing some of the text, you realize that it wasn't a good enough template for you because you needed more content. It automatically starts here and gives you different templates that you can just change. Just start over. I recommend looking at these first because it does override all of the changes you made. Like if you put something here, when you change the template, it's not going to keep it. But one good tip is just to hit add a page. It's always at the bottom. You see that? So if you wanted to try out different templates, which I get pretty excessive with this, you just hit add a page and apply a new template, and you could take a look at what you want to use and start on. Yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. I usually do that if I'm about to make some risky changes or some creative changes or try something different. I'm going to duplicate it, even if it's the same thing. You can duplicate the same page up here beside the lock. And that way, like let's go for styles, for example. If I wanted to change this color palette to black and gray, I could play around with it here without changing maybe something that I had already worked on. Yep, right there. I don't know if you can design a book. I can look though in a little bit. They do have print products. Okay, let's see. Do we have any questions about posters before I move on? In a couple of slides, I'm going to show you all of their template categories. How did you get to the palette filters again? Right here on styles, if you're in a design, that's what you can do. You go here to styles and they have two different sets. They have your brand kit is always at the top. So say you had this and you needed to change it. You see their original? Well, let me go to this one. This is the original. And I'm going to duplicate it and then change it to my design. You see it changed all of the fonts. And then say I'm not allowed to use anything but these two color palettes. Ooh, that's dark. Just going to switch it up. Oh, I like that one. It doesn't go back from shuffle, but you can hit undo up here. And then I can use this one. And then so you have all of your color palettes right here. Over here in style on the left, I always point to the screen as if you could see my finger. Over here on styles is where you get all of that. So you can hit see all color palettes if you only want to change the color. And then see all font sets if you're trying to get a different font going. You just click on them, see what it looks like. I will try at the end to show you how to set up a brand kit because I only have a screenshot of it on the slide deck. Okay, so did I miss any questions specifically about posters, April?
There was one about printing the posters the size you want to print them.
Yes, so there's two different things going on here. First of all, if you have a free account, and I always say this when I talk about resizing, this is how they get you. On a free account, you can resize a design to anything right here, to something custom or something recent or all. So it tells you what size this is right now, 18 by 24. If you wanted a poster that was a normal sheet of paper, you can hit copy and resize to create a different design, or you can just hit resize and it only keeps this one. So it's doing that now. It's great. Like any changes that you made, it retains those, but those templates were designed in that other format. So a lot of times you will see that one looks fine. A lot of times you'll have to go in and mess around with some things if they don't look great. Like this, maybe you want to stretch it out. So when you resize, you will probably have to go in and make some edits. Like I said, that is not available in the free account. So if you are in a hurry and you only have a free account, you are going to have to do more work to create a different size. I did have a print right here. When it says print your design, that's to go through Canva and use them to have them print your design. So keep that in mind. If you want to print it, you are going to hit download and get a PDF print for you to print on your own. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the audience choice, which was an infographic. And they are right at the top for me. I'm going to click on it. This is going to give me a blank one, which is okay, because you can still choose templates over here. But if you want to just look at templates a little bit bigger before you select one, actually go to the search bar and do it. And to get this over here. See their themes, they have health, beauty. That might help you shape your content. What community gives us. All right, let's click on this one. And I'll definitely note on this one. I think this is where I was going to cover resizing it, because let's look at the size of this. Inches. This is what it's printing as. So if you are not wanting to do that, you'll need to change it, but you will be making a lot of changes. Well, it won't let me resize it here. I'm going to copy and resize it. If you have like a map plotter or a bigger printer or something that'll let you print that large size, it's perfect. You know, infographics have a lot of information on them. Cooking templates. So you see how it's adjusted? It was really designed to do something longer. This is what it looked like originally. Can you search for a template? So I often do that, yeah. Book. I just want to, this looks like bookmarks for an infographic. Some people use different templates for different things. I'll zoom back out. I often am searching for a library or something to get something that already has like a book in it or something. Look at here, they already made some research steps. Like you can just hit an ad page and sort of collect ones that you like. Date idea. Why would you need that? Why would you be posting a huge infographic on date ideas for introverts? Yeah, so you can search up here. Let me search Halloween and then show you what these do. These are going to let you apply a language and a color. And it does different things later that I hope to show you. So those are the basics of infographics. Exactly, April. I really like the way they look, but sometimes, often if you're actually trying to make an infographic, you already have your information and it's not, I've found that it's not always easy to find the right template for it. Ooh, that one's pretty. But maybe you'll have better luck. You really got to take a look at it and think about the information you're trying to share and if it will really fit in there. Because like I said, once you start making changes, you can kind of like get off of, you're like changing a bunch of stuff and you sort of are losing the design. Like, yeah, it's hard. I think it's hard to adjust if it doesn't look like it's going to fit in your design. But I do really love them. They have so many good templates. I think that's all I wanted to share about an infographic. All right, so now I'll show you on home every time you click something, a new one, even if you're just playing around, it's going to open up a new tab. First of all, come on, little bar. And it is going to add it to your projects. Go to projects right here. So you might have to go in and do some deletion. They're all right there. But don't let that stop you. Let's see, let's get back to that slide deck. All right. Here are a couple of lesser known items in Canva. Whiteboards and mind maps. Those are kind of new. And I have played around with them a lot because I wanted them to work, but it doesn't allow you to, like, if you've had a notebook, like a laptop notebook and a pen, you can't write on them. So I felt like that was a no use for me. Custom prints. I don't know if people know that Canva, I don't know how long Canva's been doing it, but they will custom print your items like mugs and t-shirts. Infographic, I don't think a lot of people knew that they had those. And then I saw recently that under the education templates, they have storyboards and flashcards, even comic strip templates, which I thought was kind of cool. Now, this is what I talked about earlier. Here is a look at all of their template categories. It is a lot. You see it? So I want to show you t-shirt design to sort of demonstrate Canva's print offerings and what it looks like. I'm going to leave this on the screen for just a second though, so you can take a look at. What did somebody ask? Can you print a book? Custom prints? You can. Yeah.
We have business cards, brochures, books, and then how much do they charge for printing?
How much did you say somebody asked how much they charge for printing?
Yeah, to print for you.
Well, I'm going to show you on a t-shirt, but it varies. I just saw that they started doing notebooks, like blank notebooks. I thought that was kind of cool. You could personalize it, and like it looked like it was $28 for a notebook. It's not going to be your cheapest thing. Didn't mean to exit that. Okay, so let's go to t-shirt. These are under popular. I had it up here. Go to print products up here. It's going to take, and like I said, you can always hit search. Coaster, tote bag. Here's the notebook, sweatshirt, hoodie, t-shirt. Rachel, I had an issue with them shipping something to Arla for me, so I got it for free. So just leave yourself plenty of time. Let's see. A couple I was trying out. Give me that one. Okay, so here's a design, right? We're going to go up and print t-shirt so you understand what this looks like. You can make this bigger so that you know what it looks like, and it's going to change it in real time. You know what? I want to do something different so that you sort of understand placement. Super mom. Holiday is coming. Sorry. I don't know why, because that's funny to me. See how you have to like make sure you adjust it if you're going to change something, make it look better. Let's look at this. I want that to be a little bit higher. It feels weird being low, right? So you're going to move your item and take it up. And if you see it over there in your little preview, it's helping you out and showing you right away how it's changing. So the square that they're showing you can't be changed. And it is their printable area essentially. And you do have the ability to create multiple pages so that you can assign them to the front or back. So let's say I want this one to be really big. And you can group and ungroup elements, which is a common feature. And if you're going to try to use their positioning up here, you're going to want to group it first, because let me show you if you don't. So this is ungrouped, highlighting all of it. Let's say, oh, I want that whole thing to be center and middle. So if you haven't grouped it, that's what it's going to do. You would learn that pretty quickly though, like I did. So I'm going to group it, and then I'm going to say I want a center And so what page is this? Page 2. I want the front to be page 2. I want it to be really big. Do you know what would be cool? Is if I had a logo there. Over here in your toolbar on the left, since I am in a team, my logos are in my brand kit. Right here, there they go. I want to make like a little pocket design. I want it to be that one. And then I want the back to be that. So when you have two designs going, it's going to show you what it looks like. Let me show you your other options too. You have a style choice, men, women, youth, or toddler. And then you have color choice. And it's only going to change it in your preview. It doesn't change it here, but you can go here and change it to match. You were going to do white. So that you sort of know what it looks like as you're designing it. This is what it would look like on a white shirt. And then now, and so you cannot order like a variety of sizes in bulk. So if you say that you want a medium shirt, let's scroll down until you see where they start giving you a discount. Only at 6 shirts are they going to start giving you a little bit of a discount, and that's only a medium. So some people would look at that as a negative feature. Although the cost of these t-shirts, you see it's $25, but let me say, I'm not going to put anything on the back. It dropped down to 20. You can really customize these shirts and even ship them out to different people from here. Say one of your family members wanted a white shirt. One of your family members wanted it to have their name on it. You can make these individual changes, and since you're not really getting a discount, and remember, it has to be on the same size. Like you would need 6 medium t-shirts being ordered with this exact design in order to get 10% off. You can sort of customize it and send it out and even ship it out to people. So I think that's all I wanted to show on t-shirts. Did anybody have any questions about these?
Oh yeah, you're early.
You do see that it says happiness guaranteed. If you're not happy with your order, contact us and we'll fix it, reprint it, or refund it.
She sent me a panicked email at like 12:30 in the morning saying that she's not.
Angela, I think that there you go. Got muted. We were hearing your conversation. Can we make a baseball cap? Let's find out. I wonder if it's a hat. Trucker cap. Those are our only options. That's interesting. It pulled us up some templates for trucker hats, but it isn't printing it on a trucker hat for you. I guess you could take this design, or maybe if you had like a vinyl printer, you could print it and apply it yourself. All right, let's see. Let me get this slide deck back up. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about Social Media Planner and Canva for Teams. So I believe, and anyone please correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, that you can share straight to your linked social media, even if you have a free account. If you look there, you see that little crown. That is showing what would require Canva Pro. So you see that scheduling is on there. So if you want to schedule them into the future and use a planner, you would need Canva Pro, but I think you can link your social media and share out even from a free account. Here is what scheduling looks like. So anybody who does social media scheduling, it allows you to select a different account. That's this first top one right here. It allows you to change the type. So an MP4 video or a GIF is going to allow you to share animated features. If you don't share it that way, none of your sparkly things will show, but maybe you don't want it to. So you can change it to a picture or a different format that best fits this. And then you want to make sure, if you have done the thing I often do and duplicate a lot of pages to show different designs, that you click this and say which one that you want to share. And then you cannot, I have done lots of Google searching about making active links inside of a Facebook post. Canva doesn't allow you to because Facebook does not allow you to. Yeah. And then this is where you write your post content, and then you can save it as a draft or schedule it. This is what a planner looks like. It shows you any of your drafts. That's what this is down here. And it shows you any of your scheduled posts. It has some fun things on here to remind you of like some popular days. I know it's popular with libraries to come up with something for STEM Day. This, if you have ever used Facebook's business suite, this is very, very similar. I will say that you should decide and only use one, because I have tested this out. I use the business suite planner for Facebook to schedule out social media. If you do it on Canva, it's going to show here. It is not going to port over to your Facebook planner. So the benefit of using the social media planner in Canva is that it is going to track Instagram and Facebook. Facebook does that, Facebook and Instagram. It'll track your TikToks, your LinkedIns, and all of it here. However, if you have multiple people sharing to those accounts, or you want to share content not developed in Canva, it's not going to track anything made on LinkedIn that you scheduled on Facebook. It's not going to port over to this calendar. And if you think about it, kind of makes sense, because Facebook doesn't have any reason to help Canva's stuff port over there because they really want you to use theirs. But it could be helpful if you really are going to drive your entire social media campaign through Canva and you have multiple things that are not Facebook or Instagram. Does anybody have questions about that? I don't know if I was very clear. So Canva for Teams, it helps you set up brand colors, fonts, logos, templates. This, I believe, is also included in Canva Pro. I wrote it on the slide. It gives you a greater ability to establish workflows. And what that means is if you have a team, you can allow access to your design for certain people, for them to be able to edit it, to only view it, or to only comment on it. And you can create an approval process that way. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull this up and show you what it looks like on brand creation. It's over here in tools, brand. And this is what it looks like. It's pretty simple. They have some walkthroughs. You add as many, I don't know if it's as many logos as you want. You can add different logos right here, and you can establish your brand colors by hitting plus. They give you some suggestions, but you can also add a custom palette. It's down here, reorder palettes, and you really are just changing them. So saying that assuming that maybe you already have a branded one, you can do it by code and not just selecting, which would be, you could do it in that too. And here are your brand fonts. You can upload your own as well, which I've run into that is Canva. Canva doesn't often always have the same fonts that people are using. So you can upload your own if you already have an established brand. Here's some brand templates. We don't have very many, but you essentially can create them and tell everybody to start their slide templates from here. You can add new brand kits and brand templates. I hope that gives you sort of an overview. Let's see. I'm going to drop another link in the chat for Teams because we don't really use the ability to establish workflows like the approval process. And we also don't lock down color choice and font choice, so you can design outside of it, but I know that Canva allows you to. I think they have some quick videos on there that shows you what it offers. So I would say explore that on your own, and this was just the screenshot I had. Here is where we will talk about pricing. And I'm going to drop another link in there because there's a lot more information on there. And some people may qualify as a nonprofit entity. You can apply for free Canva Pro if you are a nonprofit entity. Does anybody have any questions about the social media planner or the Teams functions that I will try to answer?
Yeah, Jessica, we had one in chat.
Uh-huh.
Can you post to Instagram without having a Facebook? Is there a workaround?
I don't know because I just recently, probably not, because Facebook now owns Instagram and they have linked all of their planning and scheduling to both. So when you're in Business Suite on Facebook, you can unclick Instagram, but it's intertwined on their business accounts now because they're essentially the same thing, owned by the same people, and you can post on both at the same time using the exact same post text. So no, I haven't tried to find a workaround, but you know, with companies being the way companies are, I bet there's not. I would Google it and maybe see if anybody deep down on some forum has found a workaround. All right, now for this completely over-designed slide. How we do? We don't have much time, so I think I covered everything that are my favorite things. Template layout changes, talked about that. Style changes, we talked about that. Let me show you filtering for animated things because that's one of my favorites. I'm going to actually just go to this presentation and show you on the slide. I'll do it right here. Okay, so elements right here is where you're going to get where you can search everything essentially. It shows you all of these categories: photos, videos, audio, charts, stickers. If I wanted to put an arrow on this slide, I love movement. I want it to be animated. So here on your filters, if you didn't want to, you could say, I only want to see static stuff, but I want to see all the animated arrows. I'm going to hit apply. I'm going to click one. There it is. Then I can change it. So that's one of my favorite things, is being able to filter for animated or static items. And then I love their frames, and I could show you on that slide that we were just on. I'm going to detach all of these images that I hope you got the joke of. And these are frames that you can put not only pictures in, it has to be photos, but videos in as well. Let me detach this. So I just clicked on this video over here, and I'm going to move it around like this, and I'm going to snap it to this frame. Maybe, yeah, there you go. And it's going to play. It also, Canva has integrated a lot of other things. If you see over here, these are the ones that I use often. Google Photos, it'll create your own QR codes. It has some embedding. Pexels is one of my favorite stock image sites. And so they integrated it, and I love that. So it'll let you search within, pull up a picture, snap it, They have GIFs. Yeah. Okay. I'm really sorry about this slide, but I found this video. It's not playing autoplay. It's gotta play. Maybe it's lagging. Rachel, see if you don't want to. Anyway, if this doesn't play, I'm going to be upset because it's the funniest part of this presentation. I found this video in Elements when searching for the word angry, and it is absolutely unhinged, this guy doing this little performance. So I just like, I'm never going to be able to use this for any kind of real thing. So I wanted to show it to you guys. And anytime something messes up when I'm presenting from Canva, I'm always like, let that be a lesson to everyone, is that you can't always get it to work. With things like this anyway. I definitely have it on autoplay. Just close that. How horrible. So what I wanted to talk about is any frustrations for people who have used it for a while. I would love your feedback on what you don't think it's good for and what drives you crazy about something in Canva.
I'll start. One of my biggest problems, I guess you could say, is choice overload. I think I spend more time going through the templates to find the right one than actually making whatever I'm making.
That's a good point. Like on that quick create in that social media, I was like, man, I probably wouldn't use that because it was too quick and too easy, right? You want to customize it more. April, do you know much about accessibility within Canva? Typically what I'm doing is I'm looking at accessibility features within Facebook once I make a post there. The benefit of Canva over something like that's what we used to use at my old library was Publisher. That's what we were locked in. Publisher, it just doesn't have as many templates that are fresh, new, and modern looking, I would say.
I also think that clicking and dragging is easier in Canva.
I have used Canva to create a couple of videos. I spent a lot of time on it. I will say that, understanding the features and making sure things turned out exactly how I wanted. So I'm sorry, Jennifer.
Yeah, I don't know if Canva has a built-in accessibility maker or not. So everything I make, this is just me personally, sorry to interject, Jessica, is I run through a colorblind. There's a webpage you can upload graphics and images and web pages to. And I go there and I upload all my stuff to a colorblind page before I actually print it or post it. So
yeah, I'm relying on other features like within Facebook or PDF. PDF has something where you can change it, but like if you spend all the time designing it in Canva, you might not necessarily want to. One of the things that really bothered me for a long time was grid snapping in Canva. And you can actually just hit Control while dragging an item and it won't snap to grid just while you're holding Control. When you have a lot of elements on a design, it can be kind of annoying. April, did you see somebody request that colorblind website?
I am. I have to find it real quick.
Okay. So you can also share your design with me. There's my email going on. I get a lot of inspiration from others' designs. You can have it set to view only for me, or you can ask for comments. I just love to see what people are doing. So feel free to just in your free account, hit share to my email address, and then I'll get an email prompt for it and I'll be able to look at it. Exporting slides to Canva. You can import anything. I don't know about anything. You can import something. Here's this main page, this little thing right here. You can start from your own file. I will say the other way, exporting a Canva PowerPoint deck, you can export it to PowerPoint. You lose, if you did any animation, you lose it. Oftentimes, like I was talking about, their fonts, they're not matching up with Microsoft Word, the Microsoft Suite. So your fonts will change. Definitely have to go back in there and make sure nothing got weird. So you can export your Canva presentation. For backup for me on a Canva presentation, I export it to a PDF in case the internet goes down. You do lose some stuff, but you maintain your font choices. What was the search term for the angry video that you said was unhinged? Let's find out. I believe it was angry. Let's go. We've got to find it. Maybe it was mad. I hit angry. I'm going to go up here to videos. No way I did the whole. Nope. Gotta be mad. Oh, there he is. Can we show him? Will he show for us? You guys can still see this, right? Look at this guy. Oh, no, keep going. This is important. I even pulled his transparency down too. I felt like that helped. It's very disturbing. Okay, the only time I've seen a copyright issue come up is when you're designing a logo. If you are on a logo template and you go to download it, it gives you a copyright notice that says that you cannot trademark your logo, but you can use it on anything to like t-shirts, selling anything. So that's what I know about copyright on there. When you post to social media, sometimes it'll give you a single license option that's included so that YouTube will not flag your item if you have an audio clip added. So those are the two things. So Canva has thought about this. I'm not saying it's foolproof, but when I wouldn't have thought about it, like, oh, I'm using it on Canva, of course I can post it to YouTube. It will embed something into your YouTube video that shows you have a single license for that audio use. And then, yes, you can create a logo. I think what I talked about was you can't trademark that logo, which is a problem for some people. They have a lot of different options. And I think we covered what Canva was not a good fit for.
If you have time, we had a question earlier just about rearranging layers. Can you just show how to do that real quick?
Like using, maybe positioning different things.
Yeah, and I'm guessing bringing them forward and backwards too.
Yeah. We'll see if this one has enough layers. Yeah. Today we ride. So we're going to ungroup these. They have some of them grouped and some of them ungrouped. So let's say we don't want that to overlap there. I'm going to go up to position and I'm going to say backwards or all the way to the back. Do you see how it's changing? You can make some design choices like that. Also, I don't know how long tidy up has been here, but this sometimes works pretty well when you've created something from scratch. You can space evenly some vertical things and horizontal things. Sometimes it sort of looks like this. Sometimes it works really well. And transparency is up here. If you wanted something to not be so transparent. One of the most useful things for me has been a background remover. You never know what you're going to find on here. On images, when you hit edit image, they have some background removers that sometimes work really well. It takes a little bit though. And then you can go in and manually adjust it as well. This is definitely not like an Adobe product where you can snap it. It's like just like Microsoft Paint where you can do it. That's how it did it. And you can go in here to erase or restore yourself. Like if you wanted to include this umbrella, give me this umbrella back. Why would you do that? You hit done. Jennifer, have you used background remover for a video? They said that's a new thing and I haven't had a use for it.
No, just images.
I'm looking to try that out soon to see if I can use it anywhere. Well, that's all I have. If nobody else has any questions, looks like it's 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're out of time. If there's one more question, we will entertain it. So I'm seeing lots of thank yous. And so yes, thank you, Jessica. This was good. It's nice to see someone else using something. So, and just, I guess, reaffirming that I'm not totally horrible at Canva myself. So that was nice. But I did pick up stuff. So thank you. And I will get the recording out probably by the end of Friday, if not sooner. So thank you.